The Blue Lock players have been running on pure ego non-stop for weeks now, so it's finally time for them to get some rest and spend time with their families. Except maybe Kunigami. Who knows what that man's up to? Hello everyone, my name is Animasu, and today we'll be taking a look at Blue Lock chapter 304, titled Patron of Dreams. If you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock, or just want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe and possibly even join the Discord down below. Without wasting any further time, let's get right into today's video, and I apologize for sounding stuffy, I'm just sadly sick as hell right now. Blue Lock 304 kicks off with a surprisingly wholesome vibe as we zoom in through a window into a familiar looking house where Isagi Yoichi is sitting down at the table saying thanks before eating. And I'm not gonna lie, the food in front of him looks amazing. We're talking pork cutlets covered in sauce, a bowl of rice, and what looks to be some kind of miso soup. And honestly, after all the stress he's been under, this is the exact kind of meal you'd want. Damn, I'm hungry. But anyways, his parents are there too, both smiling at him while telling him that he worked hard and to eat up, and Isagi's just happily stuffing his face without a care in the world. It's actually kind of hilarious seeing him like this, finally at peace, and not being emotionally harassed by a certain blonde German man with issues. We all know who I'm talking about. As Isagi digs in, he says that eating his favorite meal after a victory just hits different, and his mom is clearly loving the fact that he's back at home and eating well. She mentions how surprised they were that he came back so suddenly and asks how long his break is. Between bites, Isagi says that the U20 World Cup isn't for another month, so Blue Lock gave them about 2 weeks off as they've been training this entire time anyways. Then he specifically says that he chose to come home, which kind of feels like an indicator that maybe other players like Kunigami chose to actually not go home to their families. His parents are obviously hyped about the news, and his mom tells him to just rest up and leave cooking all his favorite meals to her. His dad then jumps in and says how wild this whole thing has gotten, talking about how Isagi's become super popular, might be stupid rich soon, and has shown off skills that they didn't even know were possible. His mom tries to change the subject, clearly wanting to chill and not think about football for 5 minutes, and his dad realizes it too and apologizes, saying that Isagi came home to rest, not to get interrogated. Isagi, being a football junkie though, does not mind at all, as he explains that Blue Lock is currently sorting through all their offers from overseas clubs. Until that's figured out, they were told to focus solely on the U20 World Cup and preparing for it. His mom's eyes basically light up when she hears that, because aside from the fame and money stuff, her son literally finished the program at #1 ranked player. Isagi soaks it all up, and you can tell he's really feeling the moment. This wasn't just something that happened randomly, this was his plan from the beginning. He walked into the new Egoist League with the goal of becoming the best, and now that he's done it, he's realizing it feels even more incredible than he could have imagined. We then get the funniest moment in Blue Lock by far, where his dad randomly walks up to him, sticks out his hand, and says, "Thanks for that shit, my ultimate clown." Even his mom is laughing and says that he's been practicing that for when Isagi came home, which makes it even better. They keep joking about how Isagi talks now, and his mom says if he keeps doing that Kaiser impression, he might end up being a bad influence to the kids watching him play on TV. But before anyone can roast him more, the doorbell rings, and a delivery guy is standing there with a package for his family. They bring it in, and Isagi opens it while his parents lean in to see what's inside. They find a box with a Blue Lock logo on it, and when he opens it, there are multiple discs, a plane ticket, and a letter from none other than Jinpachi Ego himself. The letter is addressed directly to Isagi and says, "Learn about football, Yoichi Isagi. The key to your next evolution is in here. Discover it for yourself." Just reading that is enough to make him start sweating, because this clearly isn't some generic mass message. This is a personal assignment from the big guy himself. His mom, now fully invested, asks what Ego is like in person. Isagi thinks back to all of Ego's wild speeches and chaotic moments, and says that he's a radical dude who completely sticks to his own philosophy. He doesn't care about being liked, doesn't sugarcoat anything, and just says whatever he's thinking, no matter who's around. Isagi admits that anywhere else, Ego would 100% be considered a weirdo or even a total nutcase, but in a football world, he fits right in. His dad laughs and says Ego sounds exactly like he looks on TV, and his mom says that somehow, all of this just makes him feel even more trustworthy. Isagi agrees, but then goes even deeper, saying that Ego is someone who believes more than anyone else that Japan will win the World Cup. That catches his parents' attention, and Isagi says that now, after going through all of this, he finally understands what real passion looks like. He gets what it means for an adult to truly devote themselves to something with full sincerity. We then get this absolute beauty of a panel that shows Isagi with this ghostly apparition of Ego behind him. He says that Ego is the most fascinating yet absolutely insane person in the world, but more than anything, to Isagi Yoichi, Jinpachi Ego is the guy who gave him a chance to chase his dream. He's the benefactor in his journey to become the best striker on earth. Back at the dinner table, Isagi's parents just take a second to look at their son and smile, clearly proud of how far he's come. His mom mentions how happy she is that he met someone like Ego, someone who could guide him in the way he needed. His dad jumps in with a smug comment about how much Isagi has matured in such a short time, saying that he's already more grown up than his old man. Of course, Isagi claps back immediately and says this is only because his dad acts like a literal child, which they all laugh at. Then his dad kind of gets serious for a moment and says something actually pretty deep, telling Isagi no matter how much he changes, or how crazy his life gets, His family will always be his home, and that will never change. And that honestly hits way harder than expected, because it is true. Isagi is heading into a world that's way more intense and competitive than ever before, and while he's going to experience victories and loss, joy and pain, and probably destroy and get destroyed by other players emotionally, the one thing that will always be stable is his family. His parents even say that they'll be watching over him no matter what, which clearly means the world to Isagi because his eyes literally start glowing as he thanks them for everything. Then with tons of interest, Isagi grabs the box Ego shipped him and just takes off, thanking them for the food, but clearly eager to learn more and grow. I want to address something real quick because people on Twitter have been saying that Isagi took down his Noa Noa poster, but unfortunately, we cannot actually confirm or deny that yet. The angle we get of his room does not show the wall behind his bed where the poster usually hangs to the left of, so it might still be there or he might have ripped it off the second he got home. It is a funny idea though, so let me know if you think he threw it away or is still repping Noah on the wall. Anyways, he pulls out one of the discs, which is apparently footage from the 2008 Euro Finals, and immediately comments on how old they are. As he puts one in and starts watching, the disc has 8 clips on it, and he scrolls through wondering what Ego wants him to learn. The first match is Germany versus Spain, and the footage starts mid-game with someone smashing a goal into the top corner. Isagi thinks that maybe it's about shooting or refining his goal sense, but then the next clip throws him completely off. A player traps the ball and passes to what seems to be Fernando Torres, who heads it past 2 defenders, but the goalkeeper still manages to save it. That makes Isagi realize the clips are not just about scoring, because this one did fail. The next few scenes show moments like a guy sprinting up the wing, a trap that changes the tempo, and a crazy accurate pass. These are not highlights meant to show goals, they're showing the plays that lead to goals, the turning points in a match, and then it all starts clicking for Isagi. We then even get a shot of Pablo Aimar, Lionel Messi's childhood idol, shielding the ball and sprinting around a defender. It's these exact moments that Ego wants him to see. Not the flashy finishes, but the brainwork that sets the whole field in motion. The entire assignment is basically Ego saying, look at how the best players in the world create the scent of a goal before it even happens. Then we get this gorgeous double spread of Isagi just sitting there watching clip after clip and all, and he starts realizing that there's a whole new level of football out there, stuff that he doesn't even know yet and is insanely exciting to him. It brings him back to when he was a kid watching Noah Noah on TV, dreaming of being someone great, only now he's actually on that path. His goal now is not just to copy Ego's ideas, but to one day reach a point where he can start thinking like him, and maybe even beyond. Then the chapter wraps up cutting into Batsura, Chigiri, and Kunigami, all of whom have gotten letters from Blue Lock. But unlike Isagi, they did not get boxes full of CDs, which makes this feel like a major distinction. Unlike Isagi, they did not get a box full of CDs, which makes this feel like a major distinction. Was this because he finished the program ranked number 1, or is Ego just playing favorites? Also, it makes you wonder if Hitoshirin got a box too, since he was technically tied for the top spot. Either way, it looks like all of them are still in the process of evolving as players, but Ego is putting special pressure on him. And with 45 days left into the U20 World Cup, Chapter 305 is dropping next week with the title X23, so be ready for that. 23 is just the number of players on the Blue Lock Japan national team and most rosters at that time, so it kind of leaves things wide open for what we might get next week. Maybe this story will time skip straight into the U20 World Cup arc and catch us all completely off guard, or maybe the Blue Lockers will return to the facility after their 2-week break for a big announcement or more intense training. Either way, there's a lot that can happen, and I'm honestly excited to see which direction it goes. Whatever the case may be sure to drop your thoughts down below, as I'm always interested to read what you guys think. That wraps up today's video, and I really appreciate everyone who made it this far. If you want to continue supporting my passion for content creation, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a comment on today's video, and if you want to chat with me or other fans of the series, feel free to join my community Discord, which is linked down below in the description. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow for a pretty interesting video as well.